Good morning. It's the 1st of March already. So it is the beginning of the Femathon readathon and the middle grade month. Middle grade month. No, middle grade March. Jesus, readathon. It's 9 a.m. and we're having a bit of a lazy start. My mum and stepdad had the COVID vaccine yesterday, the first one, and I got a phone call in the middle of the night off my stepdad saying my mum was quite poorly. Could I go down and check on her because of my medical background? And I did, and yeah, she's got a fever and nausea and headache, but they're all expected side effects, and it's manageable at home. But yeah, so I haven't had much sleep. So we're having a lazy start this morning. Plus we've got a homeschool. It's the last week of homeschooling for us in the UK. Yes, thank God. So I cannot start either of those readathons or any of my March TBR yet because I've still got an hour and 25 minutes left on my Kindle of my last book of February. I thought I'd have finished it last night but didn't. So yeah, I'm going to finish that first and then I'll get started with, I think I'm going to start with The Boy at the Back of the Class. Even though I'm desperate to get into Deathless Divide, like I said in my March TBR, I think I'm in that kind of mood where I think I need a quick win. And even though I'm probably not going to read the whole thing today, I think I'll get a good chunk done and it'll make me feel like I've achieved something today, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. I've been dying to read this for about a year, if not longer I think. So yeah, I've got my cup of tea and I've got my Kindle here, and I'm just gonna have half an hour, bit of reading, bit of relaxing, a bit of waking up. And then we'll see how today goes. Hey, welcome back. It is 20 to 2. The book this morning that I was reading was Safe and Sound by Philippa East. It's a thriller. It was an ARC. I think it's just been released because I'm a bit behind. 5 stars. I'll talk about it more in I'm going to put it in my February wrap up, I think. Even though I only finished it this morning. So I said I was going to read for another 30 minutes-ish, and I ended up finishing the book. So I sat there and read for an hour and 25 minutes because I just couldn't put it down. It was so good. And we've done a bit of homeschooling, and I've packed my parcels for my business, and I was just about to go to the post office, and the postman came. And it looks like I have got book mail, and the Amazon man came, and yeah, I know what this is and I'm really excited. So let's open the book first because I have no idea what this is. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I haven't ordered this. I don't know where this has come from. I definitely haven't ordered this. I am wondering, my friend Nikki, who I buddy read with each month, I'm wondering if she sent it, because we do send each other random books in the hopes that it's like a not so subtle hint for the other one to read it with us. So maybe she wants to read this and she's decided to send me a copy. But yeah, actually I did read this years and years and years ago and I really enjoyed it and just never carried on the series. So yeah, I am all up for reading this again. And then what the Amazon man has brought me is not a book, but it's almost as exciting. Let's see. So I'm sure on my shelves you've all seen my little collections of Funko Pops that I get for like birthdays and Christmases and stuff like that. And this month I decided to treat myself to a new one. And it's, you say, oh, it's Steve Irwin. How cool is that? That is so cool. Oh, I love it. He's even holding a little crocodile. I love it. This is going to go on one of my shelves. So, that was some interesting posts this morning. Better than getting any bills. Right, I am off to run some errands. I'll probably listen to an audiobook in the car. However, I'm still in the middle of listening to last month's audiobook. So I won't be doing, again, anything for the March read-alongs. So, yeah. It's 3:30. I'm just taking a little break. So, I'm finally going to start this beauty. I'm going to probably do about half an hour before I crack on with some more work. So fingers crossed I can whiz through this at some point. Good morning. Day 2 of both the middle grade readathon, month readathon. Jesus. Every time. And also the Femathon. No. Femathon. that would change probably the whole tone of the readathon if it was called that. Jesus. Oh my god. Engage your brain, Becca. Right, try again. It's day 2 of both the middle grade month readathon and the Femathon readathon. Yes. Right. So I've only started middle grade so far. Or ever. Maybe the audiobook I'm listening to could be Femathon. I need to check that. So I was reading the boy at the back of the class yesterday, and I am just over halfway. There's been some really like cute moments that make me giggle. It is, you know, like some little things that a boy who's 9 might say or think. And then there's been some moments where, yeah, I was actually crying. I'm going to say it. I had tears streaming down my face. The little boy is from Syria and he's a refugee. And he manages, with the help of an interpreter, to talk about what happened in Syria and why his family left, the journey that they had to go through to get to the UK. And yeah, I was just heartbroken because it's not just a book, is it? This is real life for some people, and it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Nobody should ever have to go through that. And just to think that there's children out there that have lived that, it's just horrific. Like, I cannot imagine it. So it was quite upsetting. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish that today if I can. I just need to find some time to read. Right now, I'm just about to do roughly 2 hours of driving. I've got to go to an auction house and pick up some stock for my business, and it's roughly an hour each way. So I'm going to listen to my audiobook, which is The Sanatorium by Sarah Pierce. I hadn't planned this for this month. It was planned for last month and I didn't get around to it. And yeah, it's an arc, so I need to do it. Possibly the female, it's a female protagonist, and she is a police detective, or was a police detective. I'm not quite sure. So maybe that might fit in with the Femathon somewhere. So yeah, that's about it for now. Actually, I've just remembered, I was talking to Connor from Connor's Library Corner this morning, and they are doing a Galleathon readathon again. I can't remember if this is the
3rd or the 4th, not sure. And it's going to be the 15th of March for a week, and it's obviously all about your NetGalley arcs. So I think I desperately need to join in that one, just to give me a kick up the bum. So yeah, I will put a link below, and he said that they'll be announcing it at some point today. So you'll probably all have seen the announcements before this video goes out. So it's the 3rd, and I'm still reading this children's book. I had it in my head that I would just read this in one day and it'd be fine, and then, you know, just get on with it, because it is a really easy read. But I'm not finding enough time to read at the moment. I am homeschooling a lot of the day, and then I have to do my work and do whatever else and cook and shopping and whatever. So I'm like finally getting to bed at 10 o'clock. I read for about an hour, if that, and then I'm fast asleep. So I'm still only up to page 169. So it's dinner time now for me. I am having the Slimming World all day breakfast lunch bowl, and then I've added scrambled eggs. It just looks a mess. I'm not good at food presentation, but I needed something desperately. I'm starving, and I won't be eating tea until 10 p.m. Till about 8 p.m. And a nice cup of tea. My phone is going on do not disturb. I'm having at least 40 minutes to myself to read, to eat, before I have to carry on. So see you all soon. Good evening. This is Tate, and he's 6, and he's asked if I will read a chapter a night of The Boy at the Back of the Class. So I will be reading this book twice this month. Yay! So it's bedtime, we'll read a chapter, and I'll see you all soon. The next day, and the next day, and the next day after that, I smiled at the new boy and gave him a friendly wink, just as often as I could. My goal was to give him at least 40 winks a day, because that's what Mum says everyone needs. But after a while, my eyebrows started to feel funny. I could tell the new boy was finding it interesting, because he stopped looking at everyone else and kept looking at me. But then Michael saw me trying to wink with both my eyes, one after the other, and said I looked like I needed to see a doctor. He probably said that because I can't wink with my left eye as well as I can with my right eye, so I decided to stop winking quite as much. That week, Mrs. Khan was teaching us all about photosynthesis and gave each of us a small pot with a seed in it to look after. Everyone was excited because she said there would be a prize for whoever grows the best plant. Even the new boy got one, and I think it made him happy because he kept on looking at it. I tried to whisper lots of cheerful words like rainbow and popcorn and marshmallows to my plant.
Marshmallows.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
Because he's saying nice things to his plant, isn't he? Because I read somewhere that if you tell plants about happy things, it makes them grow quicker. Good morning. Apologies for this. Yeah, I just wanted to pop on really quickly and say that I finished The Boy at the Back of the Class last night, and that ending, Jesus. I ended up with a headache because I'd been doing a lot of face scrunching and crying and trying to keep quiet because my husband was asleep at the side of me. But yeah, it really got me. It was just so emotional. So I don't know. I partly feel like I wasn't expecting that level of emotion with a children's book for like children ages what, 8, 9-ish to about 12-ish maybe. It was absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend this book. There is
some really funny moments where I just found myself laughing out loud at, I guess sometimes it was like the perspectives or the opinions of a child, you know, a 9-year-old child, some of the things that they think and do, and it was just really cute. But then also that kind of innocence, like lack of prejudice, and this kind of belief that everything can be resolved, you know, that we can all be friends and that everything can be okay. And the kind of, I guess, belief again in that adults can fix it all for them. And it's just, yeah, it was just incredible. Amazing book, amazing. And like I said, there was some moments where I was just sobbing. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. What is upsetting about this book is that it's not a story for some people. For some people, it's their actual lives, and that is just, it's incomprehensible, really, isn't it? That there's children out there that are actually going through stuff like this, that Ahmet talks about, that it's just horrible. It's just real horrible. I wish I could be 9 again and naive enough to believe that everything's going to be okay. This is one of those times where it's a bit crap being an adult, because yeah, the reality is not good, is it? So on that cheery note, yeah, 5 stars. I really recommend this. And Tate has been really enjoying it so far. There was a small part where he got a little bit upset, and then that kind of made me think, should I really be reading it to him, because he's only 6? But he has asked me to keep reading, and yeah, so we're working through it together. So I'm not sure what I'm going to read next. I'm possibly, you can hear him shouting in the background. I'm possibly going to be taking a break from the readathons and try and get a couple of arcs read over the next few days. But I've not got any plans set in stone yet, so we'll just see how it goes. And I'll see you when I see you. Hey, it's Saturday afternoon. Yeah, I haven't vlogged for 2 days, something like that. Right, I want to tell you about a book I've just finished. It is called, I'm going to have to read this because it's a very long title, 121 Days, the Corbin Raymond story of fighting for life and surviving a traumatic brain injury, by Sadie Raymond. Sadie is Corbin's mother. Yeah, this book, wow, it's incredible. If anyone is on NetGalley, this book is or was recently on Read Now, so you don't even have to wait for your request to be approved. So Corbin was 16 years old, and he was just out with his cousin, going on a day out in the cousin's car, and they were involved in a really bad car accident. Now his cousin Tanner, I think he was the driver, he escaped with just very minor injuries. Corbin, however, was just a mess. I don't even know how else to explain that. He was just a mess. He was unconscious. He had to be cut from the vehicle. He had a brain injury. He had almost every bone in his body broken. He had internal injuries to his organs, just everything. He had damage to his esophagus and his windpipe and everything you could imagine. And within, I think it was like less than 24 hours after the accident, doctors were basically telling the family to say goodbye. And reading about the accident and, you know, those first few days, I'm getting choked up now. It's a mother's worst nightmare. And I was reading so fast and I was like on edge. I could feel like that feeling of anxiety and like, oh my God, and worry, and is he going to be okay? And being a mother, it was a hard read, but I think especially being a mother of boys, it was so easy for my mind to swap Corbin for one of my own boys in that bed, and that was just horrendous to think about things like that. But he did survive, obviously. Corbin did survive, and 121 days. I'm not giving any spoilers here because we know this right from the beginning, and you know it from the synopsis. 121 days after the accident, Corbin goes home, and in that time, his family are told to say goodbye so many times, and then they're told things like, well, even if he does wake up, he's going to have brain damage. He might never walk again, he might never speak again. He probably needs to go into a long-term care facility where he'll just remain, you know, a body in a bed, basically. And his mum, his mum was a warrior from day one. Like, she never left his side. She questioned the doctors. She fought and fought and fought for the medical team to keep fighting. And every time they gave her some kind of bad news, she was like, no, I'm not even thinking about that as an option. You know, the end result is we will be taking Corbin home. Whether he goes home, you know, in a wheelchair or whether he walks, it doesn't matter. He's going to be fine as much as he can, and we will be going home. And she stuck with that throughout. And I don't know how she managed it. I'm an optimistic person. And maybe in that situation I may continue, but to have this kind of massive emotional and mental load on her and to never ever give up hope is just incredible. I really, really recommend this book. I gave it 5 stars. Seriously, if you're not on NetGalley, go and check it out on Amazon. Yeah, incredible. So I thought that I was taking a break from middle grade readathon and Femathon readathon, but I think this book could actually count for 2 of the prompts if anyone was interested for Femathon. Dear God, Femathon. And I think definitely Sadie, his mum, who writes the book and obviously is the main person whose viewpoints we hear, she definitely could count for femme positive. She is just such an amazing role model, and she's shown in such this mama bear role that definitely that could count. But also I think for you know, females kicking ass for that kind of prompt, definitely, because she did kick ass. She refused to be knocked down, and she fought and fought and fought against the most negative prognosis that she could have. So yeah, that is fantastic. And then I'm possibly going to go for maybe a middle grade next, I think. Yeah. So this morning I have had some book mail and I thought I'd open it for you all to see. So let's have a look. I don't know what it is. I ordered some books from Amazon a couple of weeks back that were cheaper to order from America than they were to order from UK sellers, which is crazy. So it's possibly one of those 2 books. But, oh, it's not. Oh. So I have been accepted onto the Tandem Collective read along on Instagram for, oh my God, The Last House on Needle Street by Catriona Ward. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what this is. I know it was like a horror. Okay, so this is the story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. This is the story of Ted, who lives with his daughter Lauren and his cat Olivia in an ordinary house at the end of an ordinary street. All these things are true, and yet some of them are lies. You think you know what's inside the last house on Needless Street.
You think you've read this story before. In the dark forest at the end of Needless Street, something lies buried, but it's not what you think. Oh my god, it does sound really good. Well, obviously, because that's why, I applied for the read along. Oh, look at it. I didn't know that would be sent a gorgeous hardback copy. This is the first one I've done with them. Let's have a see. Oh, look at that. When it's naked, it kind of looks, I would assume that was like some kind of contemporary or something with that, like a pastel yellow colour. But then, definitely horror. Oh, and a pin badge, how cute is that? And we've got the question cards. So yeah, excited for this one, but it doesn't start till the 11th of March, the read along. So I've got to wait. But don't worry, I have plenty of books to keep me occupied in the meantime. So I'm going to go and crack on with some work, and I will see you all soon. Hi, welcome to Sunday. First off, if you hear a crazy child screaming and shouting in the background, it is Tate. He gets a little overexcited playing on his Xbox. And there's also a daft dog on the other side of the room that just growls at anything. So yeah, right, this has been like a really lazy Sunday, really lazy. I finished an arc that I was reading, a thriller, over yesterday and this morning, and I will talk about that more in my March wrap up. But I have now started my second book for middle grade March readathon. Still can't say it. Anyway, City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I have been wanting to read this for quite some time. Finally got around to reading it. And it's really cute so far. I'm only 20 pages in. Does anybody else do this? Right, so what I did was I read the first 20 pages and timed myself reading those 20 pages, and then it worked out based on that how long it's going to take me to read the entire book. Please tell me that I'm not the only geek that does that. Anyway, apparently it is going to take me 3.5 hours to read the entire book, which I know is slow for some of you, but anyway, yeah. So I'm hoping to get this finished today. I can't just sit and read for 3.5 hours. I've got other things to do. But I am hoping to do it in bits and chunks and get it done. Also, this morning I woke up to the fantastic news that I am now at 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I've put up a 1K giveaway post. You can go and see, if you head over there, I've got my social media links on here. I'll put them below actually in the description. Head over there. The winner will get a £20 Amazon voucher, or if it's international, as close to £20 as I can get in your currency. But yeah, go and head over there and please feel free to enter. So it's been a really nice day so far. I think I'm going to end this vlog here for now. So that I can actually edit it and get it uploaded on YouTube ready for today, for this evening. And then anything that I vlog this evening will go into next week's, just for logistics. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching this, and hopefully in the next one I'll be able to tell you what I think of this. See, I knew at some point she would start. Anyway, see you all soon. Bye.